So, we've got so much to share. I'm hoping the camera plays nicely this time, and I haven't got it too far to the desk because it'll all go wrong. But there we go. But yes, we're going to be making this afternoon the lovely men's shirt gift bags. Now, you may have seen us, let me move that out of the way just for a bit. You may have seen Pink Frog with their first shows on Hobby Maker, and thank you all for tuning in and the lovely messages. There were so many messages, it was amazing. So thank you from me and the Pink Frog team, because it is a team, you know, family run firm, it is a team. Okay, so you would have seen these on there and they went down really well. Well, to the extent that people have been asking for bigger sizes, because these on the base, if I bring my ruler in, these measure on the base about 5.5, actually I should do it in centimetres, Pink Frog, 14 centimetres by 6 centimetres. Well, I've had many requests for bigger ones. So here you go. Here is a bigger one. So this one is made with 1 sheet of A3. This one is going to take 2 sheets of A3. So I've worked all the measurements out, because that's what it's all about. It's working measurements out. And this one has a base on it of 10 centimetres and can go up to 21, 22 centimetres because it's got a shaped bottom on it. Okay, so I think in here very easily you could put a couple of bottles of beer. So for Father's Day you could stand a couple of nice little bottles of beer in there for the man in your life. The brilliant thing as well is with this, the fastening is on the collar. So you've got all that lovely goodness inside there, and your fastening is on the collar. So that's what we're going to look at making, a bigger size. Well, also, I'm going to run out of space here to put everything. Let me move these to one side. We are also, fingers crossed time-wise, we're going to look at making a nice gift card to go with it. So this is made from the 20 by 40 card. So a nice little gift card that could work for, you've got Father's Day coming up, we've got male birthdays, it could work as a wedding card, you know, we could put a couple of buttons on here and a nice flower. So you could really go to town on this, or you could have it in that version with the little pocket on it. So there's several different ways that you can adapt these, but they're great for men's cards. And we're going to be making that as well. So bear with me, keep with me. I've had a morning already doing live, so using the lovely Pink Frog products, as you well know. So a little bit of housekeeping today. Now what I'm going to be working with today is the lovely white leather card. I don't know whether that texture is coming up, but you've seen it on the shirt bag and how it comes up. So we're working on the textured white leather. So the white leather is a bright white. When I come, I'm going to bring you down to the desk and I'm going to share with you. Okay, so the white leather is available on the Pink Frog website. We've got it with the 20 by 40s, which is what I'm going to be using for the card blank, and you get 40 sheets of that at $14.99. So that works out at 38p a card. So, but don't forget, if you've signed up to the Pink Frog newsletter, you're going to get your 10% discount off that as well. So that's going to bring that down to 34 pence. We are going to be using the A3 for the gift bags. So the A3 is 40 sheets for £18. Again, that works out at 45p a sheet, but don't forget your 10% discount. So that's going to bring it down to about 41p a sheet, I think. Kimberly hopefully is on there helping me out with some figures here. So because you've got your discount on there as well. Okay, and so for the large gift bag we're using 2 of these. So that's 82 pence for a bag. 82 pence. You can't buy a gift bag for 82 pence. So just check my maths, Kimberly, because that is crazy. We've also got on the Pink Frog website the A4. So we've got the A4 textured leather as well in the white. So we've got that on the website as well. That's £10 for 40 sheets. So that is coming with your discount at 23 pence a sheet. So this is brilliant for your mats and layers on your cards. Extra bits we're going to be using on the card we're going to make for the gentleman as well. Okay. So, yes, Kimberly says I'm right. So 41p a sheet for A3. So to make that gift bag, 41 pence. So you could get like a nice aftershave in there, some shower gel and stuff like that, socks. You know, 41 pence for a gift bag. Crackers. Absolutely crackers. We've also got, let me just tell you about the other few offers before we dive in. We've got the Super Smooth 200 sheets. It's on a really special offer at the moment. It's a crazy offer. If you've signed up for the newsletter and received your email, I got mine this morning and I thought, this is crackers. So it's down at £12. That's 6p a sheet. 6p for Super Smooth, 160. Brilliant to put through your printer. Great for your card inserts, so stock up while you can. Watercolour A4. If you buy A4 watercolour, 40 sheets, they're going to give you 40 sheets of 300 GSM Super Smooth for free. Yes, you heard it. So you're going to get 40 sheets of watercolour and 40 sheets of your Super Smooth for free. Brilliant. And the last thing is the Quick Stick. Now, some of you may say, what is Quick Stick, Dawn? I've only got one sheet left in here. Many of you that have been on my album retreats and things, we use this. So this is a double-sided adhesive. Okay, I'm going to try and pull a corner off. This is a double-sided adhesive. So we've used it with our mini album making. You may have seen as well, I could have used it when we did the hard covers on the books. Oh, if I could have had it. But it's a double-sided thick adhesive. Well, not that thick. Peel off the backing, stick, say, your Super Smooth or your cardstock or your watercolour, die cut with it. You can stick it straight down then, peel the backing off because it's double-sided, stick it straight down onto your cards and things like that. Brilliant for sentiments as well. So great for die cutting your sentiments and sticking them directly onto your cards. So that's Quick Stick. So that is buy one, you get 5 sheets in here, A4. You're going to get another pack of A4, 5 sheets, free. I think Mr. Pink Frog's gone mad. I think he thinks it's still his birthday. Anyway, so without further ado, I think we're going to get started. Let me clear a space. All this excitement in one day. It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. So, right. Just because I know a lot of you work visually, I have done some visual boards, just so you know where the cutting and scoring goes. I've done the smaller bag, which is this one just here. And then I've also done it for the larger one. So please, please do not worry. What I will do is please join the Pink Frog Inspirations Facebook page and I'll share these images over on there afterwards so you know what's what. But you can craft along with me. Let's hope we don't have any dramas. I've done a YouTube live this morning. We had such fun. It was crackers. So let's hope now my camera plays up and I haven't got to have it too high up. So fingers crossed. I'm going to turn the camera around and we are going to make a start. So let's turn this around and let's hope it's behaving, and it is. No, it's not. It's not behaving. I've got to have it. I can't go any lower. Oh, it's not behaving. When I did the test, it was fine. And now it's not. So I'm afraid that's as low as it can go, because my thing won't go any lower. Why does it do this on Facebook? Who knows? Modern technology. I do a test because I have a private page to do a test on. It's absolutely fine. Come to go live, it goes crackers. Who knows? Who knows? But it'll be fine. It's just when we come to do that top bit of the box, it's going to be interesting. But we'll have fun here. So let's move all this out the way that I don't need. Right. So this is your men's shirt gift bag. Okay, we've got the fastening at the top, which literally locks into itself. So this is where having the camera close is not going to work. And then you can open it up and pop all your goodies inside there. Okay, so you've got a nice closure fastening on it. So I think this double size would be absolutely brilliant for a couple of bottles of beer easily. Okay, so you can pop them in there. It won't take wine. It's not tall enough for wine. I could have worked on another one for wine, but it was getting a bit close to the wire. But you can see on here, can you see this lovely leather texture that's coming across? And this is just by swiping that ink pad across. And we're going to do that as well. But the nice thing is, yes, it's textured leather cardstock. This is 270 GSM. Okay, so it's 270 GSM, but I'm just reading. So it's 270 GSM, so it's great for your construction, great for your card bases as well. Okay, so the other thing I just wanted to share with you, so we're starting off with our A3 white textured leather. And what I will just bring in, many of you may have seen on the TV, is the antique white, we're calling it. That's watercolour, but I'll put that back. The antique white, and then hopefully you can see the difference. So this is the white textured leather. This is available on the Pink Frog website now. Okay, this is available now, so use your 10% discount and get this. This is the antique white that we had on Hobby Maker. Okay, this is not yet available on the Pink Frog website. All right, so you can see the difference with the two textures, like the two colorways. But because we're inking it, it won't matter. So I'm using the nice white linen. White leather even. So this is where I'm going to have to just, let me just move a few things up here, because now the camera's really close. So let's put my sheet of all the goodies we've got over here. I'm going to move those ink pads out the way for now, because I've picked out some other inks I'm going to use. Right, let's pop these cards to one side, because we're going to do that towards the end as well. So we're going in centimetres, so you're going to need your centimetre scoreboard. Okay, so I've got my centimetre scoreboard here. I'm going to use this one because the numbers are a bit, they show up a bit better. So I'm hoping you're going to be able to see okay. Now, I still have to refer to my crib sheet as well, but that's fine. We're all human. We're all human. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn. So this is the lovely texture on this side. I'm going to flip it over so I've got the plain side showing. Now I've got the short side at the top of my scoreboard. You will not have seen this size being made on Hobby Maker. If you watched Hobby Maker, and you can watch Hobby Maker back because they've been so kind as to give us the links to the shows, this size you can watch being made on Hobby Makers. So if you now go to the Pink Frog YouTube channel, you will see the show and you can see the video of the measurements for this size. Okay, but I will share both the crib sheets over on Pink Frog's Inspirations at the end. So we've got the short side at the top, and the first thing I want you to do is to score at 28 centimeters. So we're going to go 28, which is right on this end. Now on my scoreboard, I can't go all the way down, so I'm just going to flip it over so I can continue scoring. Oh, she says at 28. Okay, so you've done that bit first. I'm going to flip it back over so I'm on that plain side. So I've got my 28 piece here at the end. I'm now going to do a quarter turn. Okay, we're going to do a quarter turn, and you're going to score at 10 centimeters all the way down. So we're now working on the long side, and you're going to do 10 centimeters all the way down. Okay, so you've got 10 centimeters all the way down. We go back to this small side now, where you've got your 28 piece scored off, and I now want you to go in at 5 centimeters, and I want you to do a score just down to that first score line, no further. So you're going to go 5 centimeters, the first score line. That's all you're going to do. Go down to there. Okay, and then you're going to come along at 23 centimeters, and you're going to go again down to that first score line only. Okay, so you've got those measurements. We're now going to turn to the long side again, and this is where you could do this with a pencil and ruler. I'm going to go in and do it on the scoreboard, but then I'll give you time to absorb what I've done. So I'm coming in at 3 centimeters, and I'm going to score down to 8. So I'm going to come in at 3 and score down to 8. Okay, but then I'm coming down 8 centimeters. So we're this way round. So you've done that first score line, which is 3 centimeters in, but you're going down to 8. But then you're going to come in at, I've gone down to 13. No, let's not go to 13, Dawn. Let's do it as I've said on the measurements. So let's go down another 8. So 8 and 3 is 11. So make yourself a little mark there, just 11. We're on the back of the card, so it's not a problem at all. Okay. I need to mirror this on this side. So what I'm going to do is I've flipped over, and I'm going to just butt that, make sure that's butt in. Again, we're going to go in at 3. Now, I've got my little piece that you've done that scoring off. So I'm going to come in a bit more than 8. But we can gather that along as we go. And then again, I'm just going to do a little mark at 11. In fact, I'm going to take it to there. Okay, and then I'm going to flip over, and you need to do this on 2 of these. So I'm going to just do this as a pencil line so you guys can see what I'm up to, because that's what I want you to see. So we come in there, and then let's do this one as well, because it's all, I know this is all visual to a lot of people. So we did, where far did we come? We came 8. Oh, that's a bit of a wobbly line. So you're going to have 2 lines. Now you've got your little nick here, and you've got your little nick there. And what you're going to do is you're going to do a diagonal from there to there. Okay, so you're going to do a diagonal from there to there. All right, because this is going to be cut away, and this is going to be cut away, and that bit's going to be cut away. All right, so I'm just going to burnish my scores. Now we're working on white leather. 370 GSM. It absolutely scores a dream. Okay, so don't be concerned that it's a texture and is it going to score okay, because oh yes, it is going to score absolutely perfectly. Okay, now I have done my second one, she says, ahead of time, apart from my little bits up here, but that will be fine because we can, oh, let's do them. Let's do it again, so you know. Often I join it all together, as you know. I just like to just go off hoof and do it all together. So we'll go there. And I'm finding my line here. It's right, I've got the blind thing up against my window because I know as the sun comes round, it's just going to come blaring in the window. So on my craft desk. So I'm going to do that again. And don't be afraid, we're on the inside of the card. We're not on the outside of the card yet. So you haven't got to worry at all. All right, so I'm just lining this up. The ruler I'm using, this is called a T ruler. This is quite handy, actually. I just picked mine up off Amazon. Okay, now normally I'll join this together and then cut these pieces away. But I want you to be able to see visually what we're doing. Okay. So if any of you saw me do it on Hobby Maker, you see you can make one of these directly out of one sheet as well. So let's cut this piece out of the way because we don't need that. So you're going to cut that away. And then we're at the bottom and you've got these two score lines. You're going to come up straight on the score line. And then I want you just to do a little mitre. Just so when we tie it all in, it works together. Okay. Now I know Lorraine is watching, and she was the lady that said to me that she got a present of a box of golf balls and they wouldn't fit in, which they won't. You need a bigger box. So this is why I made a bigger box. And also I was thinking, being Father's Day, it's really nice. You can put a couple of bottles of beer. But as I say, this doesn't have to be just Father's Day. This could be a best man present. You know, you could do this as a groom and groom present if you've got a wedding you're going to. There's just lots of ways this can be used. And I know time and again we get asked, people struggle with mail cards. And I'm hoping that we're going to take you on a journey with Pink Frog, that you don't have to struggle with mail cards. You know, you don't have to worry about necessarily stamping. You can just use this lovely textured leather. Will work so well with men's cards. You know, already I've got some other ideas of how this can be used. Okay, so I've now got my two pieces that are identical. I haven't taken these out. In fact, I'm going to take it out. I'll cut one off, but I'm not going to cut the other off until it's joined, because normally I do this all joined together. That's one. I'm going to flip this round. Okay, so you've got that look going on. We're now going to join these together. So I'm going to turn it on its right side, only because purely I like to do butt up to butt up, if you're with me. So let's bring my glue in. You could use red line tape as well. I'm just going to use glue on this part. I'm going to use red line tape on the base as well. But you could use red line tape, not a problem. I would go in with a 12mm. if you're going to do it. Okay, so I'm just popping myself some glue on. So when we stick the two together, what you're going to do is, like we do with mini books and things, you're going to butt it up to the score line, but don't go over the score line. So just line that up there and there. And yes, you know what I'm going to tell you to do. Yes, you've got to burnish it. Yes, indeed. And then we've got to join the other piece together. So bear with me while I just turn this round and not knock the camera flying. I don't like having the camera this close. It's not good. Not good at all. I don't know whether it's filming on Facebook. I just don't know. It's done it the last few times for me, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. So the white leather is 270 GSM. Okay, so just remember that. So it's a good weight. So I popped it on there, and I'm going to join these two together. And if you've done all your scoring correctly, they'll all butt up absolutely perfectly. Let's just join that down there. Okay, and I think before we go any further, I'm going to cut these last couple of pieces out. She said that's not sticking with my glue. Stick, stick, stick. So let's just cut that away. Now, this is why I cut it out singly first, because I know you're going through two lots of cardstock, and some people, if they've got dexterity problems, will not be happy about doing it. So that's why I wanted to show you another way of doing it separately. Okay, but if you watch the one on TV, I just folded it and cut them off. Okay. So that gives us that part. And this is at this stage where what I like to do, I don't like to do a score line straight in. Okay, I'm going to let you just, you're going to fold one inside the other. This is your closure. So this is where if you need to cut in a little bit more, you need to cut in a little bit more. And I do need to cut in a little bit more just there. So this is the stage where just have a play with it. Get that tucked in there, because that's going to be your closure. And then you're going to flatten it. And then you can go in and give that a little burnish. And the thing is, if you turn it round the other way, it should work just as well. So if I pop that one inside there, you see, you've got that closure again, so it doesn't matter. Right, so now we need to colour our shirt. Okay, I'm going to keep it a nice white collar. Who remembers those shirts with the men had with a white collar and a coloured shirt? So I'm just thinking, what colour should we go? I might go... Now, you can colour this leather with any ink you've got. I've just picked some Memento inks here. So let's go with a brownie colour for this one. So I'm going to hold that up. Now, I don't want this piece coloured. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find myself a little scrap. And I'm going to lay it across the collar, because I don't want that bit colouring in. Okay. So I've got my ink pads, hoping you can all see, and I'm just going to literally drag it. So I'm just dragging it across. We're having a brown shirt this time, and you're going to get all that lovely leather texture coming across. The men in your life will love this gift bag. If you make a sale for charity stalls, these will go down really well all year round, I think. What does anybody else think? I think these are going to go down really well. I'm flipping it over, and I'm going to do the same on this side. So again, just hold it flat and just swoosh it across. Okay, you can go as heavy or as light as you wish. You can choose whatever colour you wish. This is the nice thing about this. Remember, with the A3, you're going to get instructions to do 3 gift bags, a notelet holder, and a pizza box holder. So you're going to be able to do that. And the nice thing is, as I explained on telly, there's nothing worse than going to your craft stash and you want in a gift bag, and the colour gift bag you want, say, like, I need one this weekend for a friend. It's a man, and I haven't got a gift bag for him. So I've made myself a gift box out the texture card, and you can quite easily do that. So I'm going to have this as the front of my shirt, so I'm keeping that there because that's the last piece I'm going to pop in. And this is where you just need to, having the camera this close is not good, but we'll work with it. I'm just going to just give it a sort of smoosh in, just to get an extra piece of fold on it. So let me see if I can do this easily. So that is going to go in there, and then these are going to go on the top. So I'm going to put some red line tape on my little wings to start with. So I'm going to go in with my 12mm. Okay, so let's pop this over. So I'm going to pop this onto here. So remember, just use your scissors. Now the red mill comes in 12mm, 9mm, 6mm and 3mm. Okay, and you get 30 meters on a roll. You can see I've been using mine a lot. Gonna need to get some more 12mm soon at this rate, but it's good stuff. And this is the thing, this is what you need. You need to have good tape. So that is my front piece I've flat back. I'm going to flat my 2 side pieces. And this time I'm just going to pop a little bit on here. Now, if you were doing this at home, I would do a couple of strips on this side. But I'm conscious of me trying to get it in with the camera, so I'm just going to do 1. Okay. And you know what I'm going to tell you to do with your red line tape. Give it a little burnish. Turn your red line tape red by burnishing it, because you're pushing the fibres of your tape into, or the glue from your tape into the fibres of your cardstock. Okay. So that one like that. I'm going to flip this over. My camera is literally 12 inches above my desk. This is why I'm going to struggle with this bit with you. So bear with me. Bear with me. So this is the inside. So this is going to be the inside bottom. So you don't need to put any glue or tape on this one. But you're going to put a little bit on that one. Ooh. And that one. Now you could make your base even squarer by putting an extra couple of fold lines if you wish, but I think it detracts from the shirt look, and I think that's what many of you liked about it. So I've got that going on, so I'm going to try and do this on camera. In fact, I might have to just put it on my lap to do the first bit. So let me do the first bit on my lap so I can bring it down, and then you will see what I've done. So I'm just going to take the tape off these side wings. I'm just taking it off the 4 side tabs only. Okay, by burnishing it down, your tape comes off easily as well. All right, so that's not a problem. So let me pop this on my lap because I've got a bit more space. Ooh. It's like smoke and mirrors, this, isn't it? You have to sort of push it in. I wish I could share with you. Push in and pop it across. I'm trying to put my hand inside as well. Let me get one side on, and then I can hopefully share, put it back on the desk. Right, I think that might be okay. Can you sort of see what I've done? I've got that as flat as I can. I've got one side on, and then I'm going to just push that in and put my other side on. It's a lot easier if I can put it flat. I'm going to stand this up on the desk, so it might go off shot, and you know the reason I'm doing this is to just burnish in the bottom of the bag. So I'm just going to stand up and put my hand in here just to get it all flat. Okay, so that's all flat. So you're going to have it looking, can you see you've got like a cross effect going on? And then we can remove the last three. 2 and 3, and then we're going to flap that over, tuck that piece in. Ooh, that's stuck to there. Don't stick to there, you're meant to flap over first. See, this red line tape is really good. You will be taking more time than I'm doing here. Right, there we go. Flap that right the way over. Again, I'm just going to stand that up to give that a little burnish with my hands. Okay. So you've got that sort of effect going on. You might have it popping out here. That does sometimes happen. If it does, don't get hung up about it. Just snip off the corner. Okay, so we've got our shirt box going along. So let's tie up the collar, and then we can look at how I did the tie. Okay, so we've got our shirt. So now let's look at the tie. So I'm going to take some of the A4 card. If you've got scraps left over, you can use scraps as well. And I'm just looking for my bit of card that I put safely away. So I've got a piece of A4. I'm going to cut this. Let's cut this roughly. This is where you can have as big a tie as you wish. I'm going to go 8, just because I think it's going to be easy. So I'm just doing a big long tie. So I've gone 8. I'm now going to go in at 4 centimetres just to get the centre point. I'm just going to go in with my pencil and make a centre point. I'm then going to do a half turn, and we'll come up. Let's come up about 8. And I'm just going to do a mark there. So now I'm going to do a cut from the centre point outwards, and this is how you'd make your tie on the shirt as well. You'd obviously do smaller measurements, so it's the same sort of thing. You're just making a tie. If you've got a lovely bow tie and you wanted to do, say, a bow tie, you could put a bow tie on. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this up here. I'm going to get it in the centre, and I'm going to do myself a mark at 2 and 2 on each side. And again, I'm going to do diagonal from one point to the other. Okay, that didn't cut very well. And that's a new blade. I didn't obviously apply enough pressure. I think we've still got these trimmers in the Pink Frog shop as well. So if you haven't got a trimmer like this, because sometimes this is the thing you can't do on a guillotine. So we've got our tie. And let me just see if that tie is going to be too long. I've got a funny suspicion it is. So you're going to pop your tie under there. So yes, it's going to be too long. So let's chomp a piece off that. Because there's no point in inking card we don't need. So let's have a look at our tie now. I think that's a good size for a tie. And then the other piece I want you to cut is a piece that is roughly, say, 3 or 4 centimetres. Let's do 4 centimetres. Let's make it a little bit bigger. 4 centimetres by 4 centimetres. And I didn't cut that particularly straight on. So let's do that bit again. You can go on the little box. I did 3 centimetres. Okay, because I know some people asked after being on the telly what size the tie was. So you're going to bring in your scoreboard back in. So you've got your leather texture. Okay, we're going to work on the reverse of the leather texture. And in fact, I'm going to turn my scoreboard around like this. Okay, so you've got I'm working on the reverse, and I'm gonna just literally do some score lines. So I'm doing a score line, skip 1, do a score line. I could do it with my bigger end to make more of an impression. Actually, let's do that. So miss 1, score, miss 1. So you can make up your own style. Okay, I'm just going to do a stripe one, but I'm just literally going straight in my scoreboard, and that is all you're going to do, is to go straight in. Just getting these last few bits, excuse my big hands. Okay, so that is going to give you just a striped effect. Now, if you wanted to do a checked effect, like I did on this one, all you're going to do is turn it around that way and do exactly the same thing again. Okay, so you can choose what you want to do. And then you're going to do exactly the same on your little piece you've got here. So let's just line that up. And we'll just put a few little lines on here as well. So it's just adding some extra texture to the card we've already got. And then we can ink this over. So I'm going to go in, let's go in with some blues. I'm going in quite deep to get in the channels this time, picking up that lovely leather texture that you've got. Okay, but imagine what gifts you could put inside here. You know, you could even roll up a t-shirt and put in here, and you put socks in it and some beers and some toffees, say, if it's for a granddad. So you could have just a plain blue tie. But then if you want to go over with another colour, okay, you could just dab a little bit of extra colour just by swiping across. Can you see that different look that you get by using 2 colours? So let me just wipe up my desk. Where's my cloth? My raggedy old cloth. And we'll stick this on. So to stick this on the bag, I just like to do a little bit at the top because I like to have the movement in the tie. So I'm just going to pop a little bit on there. So just slide that in so you can't see it. So you've got all that sort of movement there with the tie. Now I've done a bigger closure for him, or for the tie. So what you're going to do is you're going to put glue on this element here and pop that onto there. So there is your large gift bag already made in no time at all. Probably hasn't even taken us half an hour to do that one. Okay, I do hope you like that one. And remember that you've got that lovely closure, which is going to amaze lots of people. Nice big bag to put things in as well. So you've got a nice big closure on that. So that's your shirt gift bag. So that's the larger version. If you want to see the smaller version, go to the Pink Frog YouTube channel and watch the first show I did with Rosie, and you'll see the measurements to make that one. All right. So let's make a card now to go with it, because it's Father's Day on Sunday. So I've done a couple of different styles of card here. Okay. So I've got one that's just a shirt with a nice tie and a little pocket. And then one I've done as a suit. And again, these are very easy to put together and make. So let me bring in some 20 by 40. So the 20 by 40 is also available on the Pink Frog website. This is the white leather. I'm just bringing in my prices. So yeah, you got the white 20 by 40. So this would work out. You're going to need a card and a bit. If you're going to do the card like this, that's just one card blank and a little bit of scrap for your tie. If you're going to do one like this, you're going to need a card blank and a piece of A4, or cut one of your card blanks in half. Okay, so it's still going to work out. Well, it's honestly, it's crackers. It's not even going to work out 50p, isn't it, to make a card? Where's my score tool? So we're going to do a half fold card. So we're going to score at 20 centimetres. And yes, you know what I'm going to tell you to do. You're going to burnish. Okay. And then you're going to do a score line at 3 centimetres. And I'm just thinking, how far have I come in? I came in at 5 on that one. So you're doing a 3, but you're only going down to 5. And we're going to do the same on this side. So in fact, let me try and do it this way. See if I can do it. No, I'm going to go in with my ruler. It'll be easier. In fact, yes, definitely be easier. Because you can't pop this in your trimmer. Okay, so just bear that in mind. You can't pop that in your trimmer. So I've gone in to 5. So I'm just going to do a little mark. And that one's going to come into 15. And I'm doing a mark where that headpiece is there. And I'm going to do a light pencil mark. So on the piece where your score line is, sorry, this is back to front. On the piece where your score line is, you're going to cut down here and across there. And this one, you're just going to cut in there. And that's as easy as that's going to be. So we're just going to cut that one in. And then this one is going to cut in. But this would be ideal for a man's card any time of year. Doesn't have to be Father's Day. I've done this for Father's Day, but it could be any time of year. I'm just going to tidy up that piece just there. So we're doing exactly like we did with the box, but we're doing it once. Okay, so we're going to bring this in. You're going to fold it in again. Oh, let's turn around that way so people can see. You're going to bring this in to sort of make a shirt. So actually, I'm going to come out a bit more there. So again, I would do it with your fingers first and then go in and make your score mark. Okay, so that's your first bit. And then where's my glue? We'll glue that down. Okay. Okay, so that can be glued down. Right, now if you want to make your shirt, your suit top, this top piece here, what you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of A4 or a piece of card, I'm going to take another card blank, and you're going to cut this at 17 centimetres. Okay, so you've got a piece that is measuring 17 centimetres by 20. You're going to pop it in your trimmer at 10 centimetres, and you're going to cut down as far as you want to go. So I'm going to go, how far should we go? Oh, let's just go for it. Let's go about there. Okay, we've got that going on. Now, you know, the other day someone said to me, what was the black line on my scoreboard for? This is the scoreboards that Pink Frog carry. And someone asked what the black line was. This is a black central line. You can use this for lots of different ways when you're crafting. And this is where one of these is going to come in. Because I'm now going to do, let's do it. I'm doing it a pencil mark so you can see. I'm going to do a pencil mark. Let's do it 5 and 15. Okay. And you're going to have that little pencil dot on your black mark, and then you're going to open this side up. I'll try and do where the point is, that needs to be on the black mark. So you've got that point on the black mark, you've got that point on the black mark, and then you're going to run your embossing tool down there. Okay, that's where the black mark comes in handy. So someone asked that last time I was on, what is that black mark on my scoreboard? And now you know. So I've picked up the point where the black mark is, and I'm going to do a black mark there, because then when you fold these back, this is going to create the little lapels on your shirt. Okay, so that's the little lapels on your shirt. So at the moment I've got the textured leather on this side. So now I'm going to flip it over, and you know what we're going to do? We're going to make it a pinstripe suit, because we can. And in fact, actually, I think I might go, let's go on the inches side, just because I think it'd be quicker. So, and you're going to create some pinstripes. So I'm going to do score one, leave one. So you're just going to create a little pinstripe effect, but not on your lapel. You're going to keep that plain, so you've got a little bit of difference going on there. Okay. That goes in the centre, and then you're just going to keep going. Let me just hold your cardstock still. Then all the way up, because yes, you've got that lovely leather texture, but you saw with the tie, you can add more texture on top of the leather, no problem at all. So let's ink this up. Where's my... Where did I just put my ink pads? There we go, they're down here. I'm going to go in, I think, with... I was thinking a hickory smoke. Or actually, let's do... Yeah, I think we'll go with hickory smoke. We'll have a nice grey pinstripe. See, this could be for a wedding card, couldn't it? Okay. So you're not wanting it on your V, because we're keeping that separate at the moment. We're just going to keep that separate. But you're going to do the same again. I'm using a distress ink this time. And you're just going to drag it down to create a lovely pinstripe. This could be anything you like, really. This could be, you know, congratulations on a new job. Oh, what about graduation? Graduations are coming up as well. So that'll be next month, all the graduation dues. So yes, you could use it for that. So I've just got that lovely pinstripe effect, and you can choose to go as dark or as light as you like. And then I'm going to turn the lapels over. If I'm going to do them this way around so I don't muck it up. And I'm just going to ink the lapels. But you could add a little handkerchief and a pocket on it. You could really just go to town with this. This is the nice thing about it. So that's going to fold over. So let's pop a little bit of glue on here and on here. Okay, give that a little burnish down so that can be sticking. Just lay that flat like that for a minute while that sticks. I think this time might be a little bit big that I started off. No, I think it'll be all right. I think I could chop a little bit off that, because you're not going to see all of it. So I'm going to chop a little bit off that tie, because we're going to put this underneath. Okay, and I need a little square cut this time at, I'm thinking 3 centimetres. Yeah, we're going to do a 3 centimetre square knot. So we're going at and we're going to do the same thing again. As this one's a little bit smaller, I might just share with you how to do the crisscross one. There we go. Let's get this out. Okay. Looks a bit of a funny tie, this, but you're not going to need a whole tie, so there's no point in doing too much inking. So we'll do, let me go with the big one again. Do one, miss one. Do one, miss one. Do one, miss one. Do one, miss one. And then to do it as a diagonal, you're going to go the other way around. So hang on, so that's that way. And I've got to remember how to do this. We're going to do it that way. So we're going to go do one, miss one, do one, miss one, do one, miss one. Could start a dance up with this, couldn't I? Do one, miss one. Oh, that's a bit close, but that's I think it's going to be underneath. So we'll be fine. And in fact, I don't need to go too far because it's going to be under the jacket. And then just do the same. In fact, let's do it around this way this time. There we go. So what colour tie should we give this time? Should we do a blue again, or should we do a green? Oh, decisions. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do both again because I quite like both. Oh, go on the textured side, Dawn. It'd be very useful to go on the right side. And I have got to check that this will be down far enough. Yeah, so I'm not going to waste my ink. There we go. I'll tell you, let's put a little bit of green on. I like the blue and green look. I know a lot of people don't like to put blue and green together, but I think, yeah, let's go for it. So you can see with the Pink Frog A3, you can do a lot. You're going to get your fold sheet in there as well. Remember to make your 3 gift bags, pizza box and notelet bag. With your 20 by 40, you're going to get 10 folds 10 different folds you can do, because 20 by 40 is unscored card, remember, as well. So you're going to be able to do all those different folds, Z folds, gate folds, all sorts. Okay, so remember that. That's the nice thing about having unscored card. Okay, so we can pop that on there. And then your jacket is just going to glue onto the top of there. Okay, so you're going to glue that on. Now you could put sticks and buttons on there. You could add a nice little flower for the edge as well. And then the other thing I just did on the top here, just to differentiate, there's a big word for a Wednesday, just to differentiate the colour, all I've done is I've done a little bit of colouring, and I've done that so this then fits in your 8x8 envelopes. Pink Frog's got the 8x8 envelopes as well. And then, so to make it different on the inside, I've just inked that top piece. Well, I've inked all the way round, just smooshing, because you still, even though this is the inside, you do get a little bit of texture coming through. Die cut myself a nice oval to put my sentiment on. So that's all good to go. Okay, so that's that one. And then to do the pocket, very easy. Let me just do a quick pocket with you. So I know we're running over a little bit, but I'm going to do a little quick pocket with you. So let's say a 6-inch pocket, a 6 centimetre pocket. So we're going to go halfway. You're going to go 3 and 3 and do a little pencil mark. And let's say come up 3 centimetres and do a little pencil mark on each side. So you're having those same techniques coming through. So you're just doing your diagonal cut. Could have just cut it on with my scissors actually, couldn't I? But so you can do your diagonal cut on each side. Okay, this is to create your pocket. Okay, so you've got your diagonal cut there. Let's make it, I'm doing a guesstimate now. So that's going to be your little pocket. And then all I did was a little score mark. So you can fold over the top of the pocket. Because I know someone will ask me afterwards, so hopefully I've covered everything. Give that little burnish down. But that's how easy you can do to make your pockets. I could have made that even less if I wanted to, so let's make it not so prominent. So just by snipping that down, there you go, you've got your little pocket. And that's as easy as it is to do a little pocket. You could do it as like a lumberjack style shirt, couldn't you, with crisscrossing all the way across. So you could do that as well. So let me flip the camera back round. Let me bring all this down. So I've got everything to share with you. So firstly, I'd like to thank you very much for tuning in this afternoon. Let's move that out the way. See, when I'm on there, that's further back. It's crazy, 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 crazy. Oh. I hope you've enjoyed that. So we've done our men's shirt gift bag. That was the size. If you missed the measurements for that one, if you check out Pink Frog YouTube channel and go on the men's shirt, you'll see the video from the Hobby Maker Live. So you'll see the measurements on how to make that one. That is the large size that we made today. So you can see the two together, the difference in size, okay, and the base there going on. So you can see that difference in size. And don't forget the lovely little opening on that you can open that up to get inside your little gift bag, which is just amazing. So you've got that going on. So you've got your two gift bags. I will share over on Pink Frog's Inspirations the like your cutting and scoring guide for those on your A3. You've got 2 different styles of men's card there for you. You've got one with a little pinstripe suit on that you could add buttons, you could add a little flower, you could even add him a little pocket with a little handkerchief coming out. You can really go to town on these. And then there's just a shirt one. It could be, you know, prom card, it could be wedding card, it could be Father's Day, it could be birthday, it could be congratulations on a new job, it could be all sorts. So I just want to thank you all for tuning in. I do hope you've enjoyed today's Pink Frog Live. Claire will be back with you next Wednesday at 1 p.m. for a Pink Frog Live, so don't forget that. Sign up for the Pink Frog newsletter if you haven't already done, because you're going to get 10% off anything on the Pink Frog website. So that means straight away your gift box that we made, you could be making that gift box with 2 sheets for 82 pence. So if you have a stall that makes and sells, brilliant. You could be making that one for 41 pence. Fantastic. You could be making the card. Well, you could do that card for 34 pence and that one for 50 something pence. So this is why unscored card can go so far. So I do hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. Big thank you to the Pink Frog team back there at Pink Frog HQ. They've been really busy after the Hobby Maker shows. Don't forget to sign up to the Pink Frog or subscribe to the Pink Frog YouTube channel as well, because we keep uploading stuff on there, and you'll find the lives there again, so you can watch again, craft with me on the craft along, and make this all over again. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Take care for now. Bye bye.